If you came across these skateboarders racing down a hill, you may not be able to catch them, even in a car. They'd be doing speeds of between 80 and 100 kilometres an hour, powered only by the force of gravity. It's a sport that needs skill and courage like no other, and they're about to test themselves like never before. In March, they'll be breezing down Bathurst's iconic Mount Panorama, where wheels like these have never rolled before.
I think we'll be pushing up to around 100 k's an hour coming through Conrod Straight, which should be interesting on a skateboard. Down there on Conrod Straight, the road surface is just, it's so smooth, it's awesome. I'm reaching in my cupboard for a painkiller.
These young men form most of the Australian team for the first international gravity sports festival ever held in Australia.
We'll be competing for Australia against the likes of America, South Africa, Germany, Switzerland, the whole of Europe, Canada. All the best riders from all around the world are going to come out. Yeah, we'll be trying to defend the Australian titles and bring the trophy back to Queensland.
They met each other mainly through work, and it was Steve Daddow who got them interested in skating. Steve went on the international circuit for most of 2003 and came back world number 3. He hasn't had the money or the sponsors to go again.
That was a big stoke for us. To know that Australians can go over onto the world scene and to really, compete at a World Cup level. From then we tried to just build up the skate scene here.
Mild-mannered telco executive Jeremy Rodgers is the Australian downhill team manager. He also runs a skateboard supply business and trains with the team 5 days a week, often on Hedges Avenue, where several team members rent a house on the beach. These skateboarders don't do shopping centres or car parks. They only ride on roads where they're allowed, but it's still pretty restrictive.
You've got to start on the road. So, that's a hard thing for like the council, I guess. They don't really want us to ride on the road, but we're going to go and ride on the road. If they complain, we just go. We don't cause any trouble. We'll just come back another day or go to another hill.
The sport is still striving for respectability through the newly established Australian Skateboarding Association and the International Gravity Sports Association. But like surfers, these people aren't really given to joining organisations.
The guys that skate are sort of free spirits, similar to the surfing, but, if we want to see the sport develop, we do need to look at it as a potential profession sort of thing and give the sport the opportunity to grow and develop. Otherwise, 10 years from now, we'll still be doing the same thing.
They rightly consider themselves to be athletes, but it's a sport that's heavy on the wear and tear. They go through gloves so fast they have to stick pieces of breadboard to their palms, and they accept that horrible injuries are part of the process.
If you crash at 100 k's an hour, it's like jumping out of a car at 100 k's an hour. You're in a bit of trouble.
It's just, I like that sort of speed and edge where you've kind of got to be on, or otherwise things go wrong, and they go wrong pretty bad. So, yeah, I like that sort of feeling.
I crashed into a guardrail and shattered my kneecap.
I've broken my elbow 3 times, my wrist twice now, my shoulder, my scapula, my L5 and my spine.
Broken my arm, I've got 2 plates in my arm.
I've had all sorts of skin injuries, and I've had about every crash there could be.
Broken my femur, spent 6 weeks in hospital, strapped to a bed with weights through the femur.
My shoulders dislocate quite regularly.
I don't have any injuries. I'm pretty safe.
I'm reaching in my cupboard for a painkiller. What would help them bear the pain is some proper sponsorship.
Some of the Brazilians have got banks behind them,
They'd like to test themselves on the world circuit, but it isn't money they're chasing.
Making a living out of it's going to be pretty hard, and it's more of a love thing than anything.
And that's our show. You can catch us again tomorrow from midday on ABC1. Goodbye.